There comes a moment in a man's life when he realizes that chasing validation only leads to exhaustion, but building himself creates a quiet power that naturally attracts everything he once tried to force. If you truly want women to chase you, not just for a moment, but consistently, deeply, and genuinely, then understand this one truth. Become a man who is fully aligned with himself. Not perfect, not flashy, not pretending, but grounded, disciplined, and alive with purpose. That is the one thing that changes everything. The moment you stop trying to win people over and start aligning your life with your own values, everything begins to shift in a way that feels almost effortless. Most men spend years unknowingly draining their own energy by seeking approval, adjusting their personality, and constantly wondering if they are enough in someone else's eyes. But the truth is, the more you chase validation, the further it slips away and the more you lose touch with who you actually are. Real attraction begins when you return to yourself, when you start making decisions that reflect your standards instead of your fears, and when your actions match the man you truly want to become. This alignment is not loud or flashy, but it is powerful in a way that people can feel without you needing to explain it. When you are aligned with yourself, your behavior becomes naturally consistent, and consistency is one of the rarest traits in today's world. You are no longer switching personalities depending on who you are around, and that creates a sense of stability that others find deeply attractive. Women in particular are highly intuitive when it comes to emotional energy. They can sense when a man is grounded versus when he is pretending. When you are aligned, your words, your tone, and your actions all come from the same place, and that authenticity makes you stand out without any effort. You are not trying to impress, and that lack of neediness becomes your strongest advantage. This kind of alignment also changes how you handle rejection and uncertainty. Instead of taking things personally or overthinking every interaction, you remain steady because your sense of worth is not tied to external outcomes. You understand that not everyone will connect with you, and that is perfectly fine. This mindset removes pressure from your interactions and allows you to be more present, more relaxed, and more genuine. Ironically, this is what makes people more drawn to you because you are no longer trying to force a connection. You allow things to unfold naturally, and that ease creates comfort. Another important part of alignment is knowing what you stand for. When you have clear values, you stop tolerating situations that do not match your standards. You no longer stay in conversations that drain you or relationships that feel one-sided. This does not come from arrogance but from self-respect. When you respect your own time and energy, others begin to respect it as well. Boundaries become easier to set because you are not afraid of losing people who are not right for you, and that confidence in walking away is often what makes people reconsider your value. Alignment also reflects in how you carry yourself physically. Your posture becomes more relaxed, yet confident. Your movements become more intentional, and your presence becomes calmer. You are not fidgeting for approval or overcompensating to be noticed. Instead, you occupy your space naturally, which signals that you are comfortable in your own skin. This kind of body language communicates more than words ever could, and it plays a huge role in how others perceive you. Your daily habits reinforce this alignment as well. When you wake up with a sense of purpose, take care of your body through simple exercise, and nourish yourself with clean food, you are sending a message to yourself that you matter. This internal message gradually transforms into external confidence. It is not about perfection or strict routines, but about consistency and self-respect. Even small actions like going for a walk, staying hydrated, or choosing healthier meals contribute to a stronger sense of control over your life. Mental alignment is equally important. When your thoughts are focused on growth instead of comparison, you become more resilient and positive. You stop measuring your worth against others and start measuring it against your own progress. This shift reduces anxiety and builds a quiet confidence that does not need to be validated. You begin to trust yourself more, and that trust allows you to make better decisions in all areas of life. Over time, this alignment creates a kind of magnetic energy that cannot be faked. People are naturally drawn to those who are at peace with themselves, who are not constantly seeking something from others. Women notice this because it is rare. In a world where many are trying to prove their worth, a man who already knows his value stands out without saying a word. His presence feels different, his energy feels stable, and his actions feel intentional. That is what creates lasting attraction, not temporary attention, not surface-level charm, but a deep sense of authenticity that makes others curious and intrigued without needing to chase or convince or force anything at all. Your body is not just something you carry through life. It is the foundation of your energy, your presence, and the way people experience you before you even speak. Many men underestimate how deeply physical health is connected to attraction, especially as they grow older, but the truth is simple. When you take care of your body, you naturally elevate everything else about you. It is not about chasing perfection or trying to compete with younger versions of yourself. It is about building strength, vitality, and consistency in a way that reflects self-respect. And that kind of self-respect is something that cannot be ignored. As you age, your energy becomes more valuable than ever. You may not have the same physical speed or endurance as you once did, but what you can build is sustainable strength and balance. Light, consistent exercise becomes your greatest tool. Something as simple as a daily walk can do more than just improve your health. It clears your mind, stabilizes your mood, and enhances your overall presence. When you walk with intention, shoulders back, breathing steady, you begin to carry yourself differently. That shift in posture alone can change how others perceive you because it signals confidence without needing to say a word. Adding light strength training into your routine can amplify this even further. You do not need heavy weights or extreme workouts. Basic movements like push-ups, squats, resistance band exercises, or even lifting light weights at home can gradually rebuild muscle and improve your posture. This is not just about appearance, it is about how you feel in your own skin. When your body feels strong, your mind follows. You become more decisive, more present, and less affected by stress. That inner strength naturally reflects outward, creating a grounded energy that people are drawn to. Flexibility and mobility are often overlooked, but they are just as important. Stretching your body, even for a few minutes each day, keeps you agile and reduces stiffness. It allows you to move with ease and comfort, which contributes to a more relaxed and confident demeanor. When your body is not tense or restricted, your overall energy becomes smoother, and that calm physical presence has a powerful psychological effect on others. It makes you appear more composed, more in control, and more at ease with yourself. Your diet plays a crucial role in supporting this physical transformation. What you eat directly affects your energy levels, your mood, and even your mental clarity. Choosing whole, nutrient-rich foods over processed options is one of the simplest, yet most powerful changes you can make. Fresh vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and healthy fats provide your body with the fuel it needs to function at its best. Staying hydrated is equally important, as even slight dehydration can impact your focus and energy. These habits may seem basic, but they create a strong foundation for long-term vitality. When you maintain a balanced diet, your body responds in ways that go beyond the surface. Your skin becomes healthier, your eyes appear brighter, and your overall appearance reflects a sense of care and discipline. This is not about trying to impress anyone, but about showing that you value yourself, and that value becomes visible to others. Women, in particular, notice these subtle cues because they reflect consistency and responsibility, traits that are deeply attractive on a psychological level. Sleep is another critical factor that ties everything together. No amount of exercise or healthy eating can compensate for poor sleep. When you get enough rest, your body recovers, your mind resets, and your emotional stability improves. You wake up feeling more focused and less reactive, which enhances your interactions throughout the day. A well-rested man carries a different kind of energy, one that feels calm, balanced, and reliable. All of these habits, movement, nutrition, rest, work together to create a version of you that feels alive and in control. This is not about drastic changes or extreme discipline, but about building a lifestyle that supports your well-being in a sustainable way. When you consistently take care of your body, you send a message to yourself that you are worth the effort. That message becomes your mindset, and that mindset shapes your behavior. Over time, this physical alignment transforms into a natural confidence that does not rely on external validation. You do not need to seek attention because your presence already carries weight. You feel better, you move better, and you think more clearly. This combination creates an energy that others can sense immediately. It is not loud or forced, but it is undeniable, and that is where the real shift happens. Attraction is no longer something you chase, it becomes a byproduct of how you live. When your body reflects discipline, when your energy reflects balance, and when your lifestyle reflects self-respect, people are naturally drawn to you. Not because you are trying to be someone else, but because you have become the best version of yourself in a way that is real, sustainable, and deeply rooted in the way you treat your own health and well-being every single day. Your mindset is the invisible force that shapes everything in your life, from the way you see yourself to the way others respond to you. And once you begin to master it, you realize that attraction is less about what you do and more about how you think and carry your inner world. Most men operate from a place of reaction, constantly adjusting their behavior based on how others treat them, but the moment you shift into a mindset of self-direction, everything changes. You stop reacting and start choosing. You stop chasing and start attracting. This shift is subtle, but it is incredibly powerful because it places you back in control of your own life. A strong mindset begins with clarity. When you are clear about who you are and what you want, you eliminate confusion from your actions. You are no longer second-guessing yourself or overanalyzing every situation. Instead, you move with intention. This clarity comes from spending time understanding your values, your boundaries, and your priorities. It requires honesty with yourself, even when it is uncomfortable. But once you define these things, your decisions become simpler, and your confidence becomes more stable because it is rooted in something real. One of the most important elements of a powerful mindset is detachment from outcomes. This does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop depending on specific results to feel good about yourself. When you are attached to outcomes, you become anxious, needy, and overly focused on how others respond to you. But when you detach, you remain steady regardless of what happens. You give your best, you stay present, and you allow things to unfold naturally. This calm approach is incredibly attractive because it shows emotional strength and self-control. Another key aspect is emotional discipline. Life will always present challenges, and people will not always behave the way you expect. The difference lies in how you respond. When you train your mind to stay composed under pressure, you create a sense of stability that others can rely on. You do not get easily triggered, you do not overreact, and you do not allow temporary emotions to dictate your actions. This level of control is rare, and it immediately sets you apart. It creates an aura of maturity and strength that people feel safe around. Your internal dialogue also plays a huge role in shaping your mindset. The way you speak to yourself determines how you show up in the world. If your thoughts are filled with doubt and negativity, it will reflect in your behavior. But when you consciously choose to focus on growth, resilience, and self-respect, your entire perspective shifts. You begin to see challenges as opportunities instead of obstacles. You become more patient with yourself and more persistent in your efforts. This positive internal environment strengthens your confidence in a way that is not dependent on external validation. Consistency in your thinking is just as important as consistency in your actions. It is easy to feel motivated for a short period, but real transformation comes from maintaining a strong mindset even on difficult days. This is where discipline comes into play. You choose to stay focused, to stay positive, and to keep moving forward even when you do not feel like it. Over time, this builds mental resilience, which becomes one of your greatest strengths. A resilient man does not break under pressure. He adapts, learns, and continues to grow. As you get older, your mindset becomes even more valuable because it influences every aspect of your lifestyle. You begin to prioritize peace over chaos, quality over quantity, and depth over surface-level interactions. You become more selective with your time and energy, which naturally raises your standards. This does not make you distant, it makes you intentional. And that intentionality is something people respect and admire. Another powerful shift happens when you stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison creates insecurity and distracts you from your own path. When you focus on your own progress, you build a sense of fulfillment that is independent of external factors. You measure success based on how far you have come, not on how others are doing. This mindset creates a quiet confidence that is not threatened by competition. It allows you to appreciate others without feeling diminished by them. Gratitude is another element that strengthens your mindset. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, you create a sense of abundance in your life. This abundance is not just about material things, it is about your overall perspective. You become more content, more positive, and more open to new experiences. This positive energy is naturally attractive because it makes people feel good around you. Over time, all of these mental habits come together to create a version of you that is calm, confident, and grounded. You are no longer controlled by external circumstances, and you no longer seek validation from others. Instead, you operate from a place of self-assurance and clarity. This is what makes you stand out. It is not about trying to impress or convince anyone. It is about being so aligned with your own mind that your presence alone communicates strength and stability. And when your mindset reaches this level, attraction becomes effortless. People are drawn to you because you are not trying to be something you are not. You are simply being yourself, fully and unapologetically, with a sense of calm confidence that cannot be faked or forced, and that authenticity becomes the very thing that captures attention, builds intrigue, and creates a lasting impression that goes far beyond surface-level attraction and stays with people long after the moment has passed. Your lifestyle is the silent story you tell the world every single day, and whether you realize it or not, People are constantly reading it through your habits, your routines, and the way you choose to spend your time. It is not your words that define you in the long run, it is the pattern of your daily actions. When your lifestyle reflects discipline, purpose, and balance, it creates a kind of quiet authority that naturally draws people in. You do not need to announce your value because it becomes visible in how you live. A man with a structured lifestyle carries a different kind of energy. He wakes up with intention, not confusion. His mornings are not rushed or chaotic, but grounded and steady. Even simple habits like making your bed, stepping outside for fresh air, or starting your day without immediately diving into distractions can set the tone for everything that follows. These small routines build a sense of control over your life, and that control translates into confidence. When you are not constantly reacting to the day, you begin to lead it. How you manage your time is one of the clearest indicators of your priorities. If your days are filled with distractions, endless scrolling, or unproductive habits, it shows a lack of direction. But when you intentionally dedicate time to growth, learning, and meaningful activities, it signals purpose. This does not mean you have to be busy every second, but it means your time has value. Reading, learning new skills, working on personal goals, or even engaging in thoughtful conversations all contribute to a richer and more fulfilling lifestyle. People are naturally drawn to those who have something going on in their lives, something that reflects depth and direction. As you grow older, simplicity becomes a powerful advantage. You begin to realize that you do not need a complicated or flashy life to be fulfilled. In fact, a balanced and organized lifestyle often creates more peace and clarity. Keeping your environment clean, your schedule manageable, and your habits consistent allows you to focus on what truly matters. This sense of order reduces stress and enhances your overall presence. When your life is not cluttered with unnecessary chaos, your mind becomes clearer and your interactions become more genuine. Your social habits also play a significant role in shaping your lifestyle. The people you surround yourself with influence your mindset, your behavior, and even your energy. Choosing to spend time with individuals who are positive, growth-oriented, and supportive can elevate your entire outlook on life. On the other hand, distancing yourself from negativity and toxic environments protects your peace and reinforces your standards. This selective approach to relationships is not about isolation, it is about quality. When you value your time and energy, you naturally become more intentional about who you share them with. Another important aspect is how you handle your responsibilities. Whether it is your work, your personal commitments, or your goals, showing up consistently builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. Reliability is a rare trait, and it carries immense weight. When people see that you follow through on your word, that you handle your responsibilities without excuses, it creates respect. This respect forms the foundation of attraction because it signals maturity and stability. Your lifestyle should also include moments of rest and enjoyment. Constantly pushing yourself without balance can lead to burnout, which affects both your energy and your presence. Taking time to relax, reflect, and enjoy life is just as important as being productive. Whether it is spending time in nature, listening to music, or simply sitting in silence, these moments help you reconnect with yourself. They allow you to recharge and maintain a sense of inner peace. A man who knows how to balance effort with relaxation carries a calm and composed energy that others find comforting. Personal growth should remain a consistent part of your lifestyle. This does not mean chasing perfection, but it means staying open to learning and improvement. As you evolve, your perspective broadens, your confidence deepens, and your ability to handle challenges improves. This ongoing growth keeps your life dynamic and interesting. It prevents stagnation and keeps you moving forward, which is an attractive quality in itself. Financial discipline can also contribute to a strong lifestyle. Managing your resources wisely, avoiding unnecessary expenses, and planning for the future creates a sense of security. This stability is not just practical, it is psychological. It reduces stress and allows you to focus on other areas of your life without constant worry. A man who is in control of his finances demonstrates responsibility and foresight, which are highly valued traits. Over time, all of these elements come together to form a lifestyle that reflects who you are at your core. It becomes a natural expression of your values, your discipline, and your mindset. You no longer need to prove anything because your life speaks for itself. People notice the way you carry yourself, the way you manage your time, and the way you handle your responsibilities. They see the consistency, the balance, and the purpose behind your actions. And that is what creates lasting attraction. It is not about trying to impress or seeking attention. It is about living in a way that feels authentic and aligned. When your lifestyle reflects self-respect and intentionality, it creates a magnetic presence that draws people toward you without effort, without force, and without the need to chase. Because what you have built within your daily life becomes the very thing that others are naturally curious about and deeply attracted to over time.